Hi, Art. This is Margie with Basmati. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today, Margie?
I'm great, thank you. Enjoying the surprise rain, clearing up everything, so it's super fun. Today we are talking with Art Kuhns. He is with Breaking Day Hypnotherapy. He's going to chit-chat with us about hypnotherapy and some of the other modalities he uses with it and how you can work with him. So, Art, let's get started.
Okay.
Tell me a little bit about hypnotherapy, and maybe for people who don't know what that is, can you explain it?
Yes, hypnotherapy, it's like I think it's best explained if I start from kind of the beginning and talking a little bit about your conscious and subconscious mind and how those two work interactively. And your conscious mind is basically where we live 90% of our lives, where we think and analyze, judge, learn, and listen throughout the day and ask simple questions like, where am I going to go, what am I going to do, what am I going to wear? And that conscious mind has only 10% of our brain power. And yet, as I mentioned, we live 90% of our time in it. Our willpower is also seated in our conscious mind, and so it too only has 10% of our brain power. Whereas on our subconscious mind, other than running all of our bodily functions, your subconscious mind also houses all your memories, your beliefs, your emotions and reactions, your habits. And these habits and memories can go back from the time of your birth to however old you are now. And most of our programming and habits were developed between the ages of your birth to 8 years of age. And your critical mind, your conscious mind, isn't really developed enough to create some filtering and the filtering part of it until after 8 years of age. So a lot of the programs, beliefs, and habits that we have were all formed before we really had a conscious mind to decipher if that was really something true or not. And so we're actually running on very, very old programs created as a child. And so when you're trying to create a change in your life using your willpower, which has 10% of your brain power, and you're trying to, and you can't figure out why you can only last for a few days to a couple of weeks before you start to fall back into your old habits, it's because you're trying to fight an old habit or belief or program that was created at a very young age and that has now been reinforced and very, very strong throughout your entire life. And it's 90% of your brain power. So people often become very frustrated that they can't make the changes that they want to make at a conscious level because they're fighting against a programming or an old habit. But they just don't understand why that difference is, that 10 to 90% difference. So,
and the layers of programming that we build upon that, right?
Yes,
so,
and the reinforcements, and the reinforcements. I mean, I tell a little story, as a child you may wanted to go with your parents to some place, and you really, really wanted to go really, really bad, and yet your parents left you home. And then you feel like, as a child you might have felt abandoned, even though you weren't abandoned. You were just left at home while they went to dinner and had a date night or something. But in your mind you felt abandoned. And then every moment or every time something else happened that was related to that it just reinforced that abandonment.
Yeah, anything that was similar to that at all.
Right, it could have been something completely different. And now as an
30
adult,
years later, yeah.
now you're wondering why you're always feeling abandoned, why these emotions always come up, even though it could be something totally unrelated. You're not invited to a party or something. And now you're feeling abandoned again. And you can't figure out why these emotions keep coming over you because your logical mind is thinking like, it shouldn't be logical. Why should I feel this way? But you do because you have a programming. Where hypnosis comes in is that we just put you into a very relaxed state of mind, similar to meditation if one meditates, or similar to daydreaming if you don't. And you're just in a very relaxed state of mind where we put that critical conscious mind to sleep basically for a little bit. You're not asleep. Suggest that we put the conscious mind to sleep a little. And now we can talk directly to the subconscious mind, and we can tell the subconscious mind, to make some different changes and to create a new habit. And the subconscious mind is very willing to take on new behavior changes very quickly. It doesn't really care what kind of programming it runs. It just wants to run a program. So instead of running a program of abandonment, you run a program of feeling empowered and positive and loved. And so you can create that kind of programming very quickly in a subconscious mind. Now, a lot of people think that, you know, hypnosis is mind control, or you're putting him that I'm becoming, that you can be, I can control you, or you're going to dispel all of your secrets, and none of that's true. You don't feel like doing that when you're daydreaming, do you? So,
right?
It's just we're putting it into a very, very relaxed state. And another cool thing about hypnosis is a lot of people have no idea how to feel relaxed anymore. We live in such a high stress environment that when they do come out of hypnosis, I'm basically waking up out of that very relaxed state of being. They go like, wow, I'm so relaxed. I haven't felt that in like forever.
Yeah.
So wouldn't it be cool if, you know, I do this during my hypnosis sessions. It's just something I do automatically, is I teach mindfulness during a hypnosis session. And so wouldn't it be awesome if you could return to that sense of peace and calming and being in control at any time? Well, you can, because I just taught you how to do a mindfulness breathing meditation in hypnosis. And you can use that at any time to restore yourself to that peace and calming and in control state. And so that's basically what hypnosis is. We can just change the programming and create a new life. I like to call it like a new life or a new mind, and we just do that. One of the other things I teach while in hypnosis is, and I assign as like an exercise, is what would you want to do? What's your new life? How would you like to visualize yourself if you didn't have this issue, problem, habit? What would your life look like? And I have them visualize that, and then I have them apply emotion to it. So if you lived like that right now, what would you feel like? And most people go, I feel happy, I feel empowered, I feel successful. You know, so great. Let's empower those feelings. And then in hypnosis, we increase them, and then we increase. We also add an anchor, so you can bring back those feelings. And so when they leave the session, they are left and empowered with tools and techniques that they can use to manifest and create that new life for themselves.
Yeah, and it's what it feels like to me is that you're able through, because you're going through the subconscious mind, and to go through those layers and programming that we have that many of us don't even recognize that we've put there, right? And how creative and strong we've actually done with that process, right? Like, and it basically just goes, oh no, remember this? Okay, here. Like, and we are all, I believe, like divine souls and beings that want that joy and that calm in our experiences, right, in this life, in this journey. So what a fabulous way of going about it. So let me ask you this, and I know this is a question, and it just depends on what someone's working with and who they are, but generally speaking, say I came to you for anxiety, roughly would I be signing up for 20 sessions? Would I be signing up for 3 to 6 sessions? Like, what does that look like?
Most, I've had one of my past 2 clients who've come to me for anxiety have left in 2 sessions.
Perfect. Yeah.
So it's because I teach the tools.
Yeah.
And I teach them to use their imagination and their emotion to create their life, and I teach them how to use that on a daily basis, and so they outgrow me on a very quick basis. I think that if it was, I don't want to say that, I don't want to put up the expectation that everyone can be off in 2 sessions. But because it depends upon the programming, the past programming that you've had, and how deep that is, and how much you want to release that.
That's right.
A lot of times people are afraid to go into that area and release it. Now, I do have some tools and techniques that I can use to release those things very quickly, but it just depends upon the individual. So 3 to 6 sessions, I would say, is an average. Not
that's
20.
why that's why I said that, because it's like I know that it's just like when I work with people, like there's some people who are like, oh, that I've got that, I got it right now, boom, and then there's others who like are a little more cautious, right? And that's all okay. It's perfect. I just wanted to get an idea of what that would look like. And then let me ask you this: so, can you do this remotely?
Yes, actually 3/4 of my clients currently are remote. I use either a Zoom conferencing, which we can set up before the session. It's free and it's very easy. It's a very simple registration process. And I've also have phone clients.
Yeah. And so what does that look like if I'm doing a session with you remotely? We'd set up a Zoom, and do I put my phone or my tablet like next to me?
Yes, that's basically it. So for you as a client, whether I'm on phone or Zoom doesn't really mean any difference to you, because you have earbuds or speakers and you're just hearing me and your eyes are closed and you're really, really relaxed. For me, though, on the other end, there's some things I like to see. We can use them either a module, I'm not pronouncing that right, but I may have you respond by shaking your head or raising your finger, so yes, no, maybe. And that's very difficult to do on a phone, so I have to use different techniques for that. But if I had a Zoom, it opens up a little bit more different types of sessions that I can use, because I can be interactive with you. Yeah. And all I need to do is just see your face or your hands or something to that effect, face preferably. And so your phone, Zoom is an app that can be attached to your tablet, your phone.
I was just going to say Zoom is super easy. I use it. Yes. So for anyone listening who doesn't have it, it's fantastic. And it's super user-friendly. Yeah.
And it's secured as opposed to Skype.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to use Skype, but you might get a call during Skype. It's not as secure as Zoom is.
That's right. And then typically, how long is a session?
My sessions, typically I set them for an hour, but they generally end up being a little longer. I think because of the energy stuff that I use, I generally like a little longer session. I really like to get into the energy and intuitiveness of the session, and so so my sessions generally run an hour and 15 to an hour and a half.
Okay, awesome. And what are well, I know we can get this on the website, and some of the benefits of hypnotherapy, but I want to ask you about your services and some of the things you offer. I know that you have a self-hypnosis class. What is that like?
Self-hypnosis class is where I basically teach you or talk to you about the power of your mind. The power of your mind to create all kinds of different things. Like, what if you had the power to actually create healing, to change your own cell structure, to change DNA, to actually create a healing process? So I go into that with self-hypnosis and kind of start to create that belief that that's actually possible. There's numerous books written on exactly that, on how that is so possible, and yet our own belief is what's causing us not to have that power. So I teach in a self-hypnosis class the power of your mind, to be limitless in whatever you want to achieve, whether it's healing or to be more productive or efficient, or to get over fears and phobias, or to create goal manifestations, or whatever that is. And then I can teach tools about the difference. We go into a meditative process where we actually use meditation with self-hypnosis. And basically the difference between meditation and self-hypnosis is, as you meditate, you're basically trying to either control or what's the word I want to use to, do you really want to clear your thoughts or learn to just live with your thoughts, right? Because you're always having thoughts. But in meditation, we want to try and create that empty mind of just being present. And in self-hypnosis, we use that guided visualization of your imagination with emotion of what your life is going to look like. And as you do that, the funny thing about your subconscious mind is it can't tell the difference between imagination and reality.
Yeah.
And so if you start to imagine your life being a certain way, your subconscious mind says, oh, this must be reality. Because it's only imagination, but it doesn't know that. And so it starts to create that for you. And so if that's new cell structure for healing or a new pain types of modality or perception so that you can decrease pain in your life, or whether that's a goal that you want to achieve in your life, it doesn't know the difference, and so it begins to create it. And that's the power of self-hypnosis. And being a meditator of some over 25 years, I like to use meditation to start with, and then go into self-hypnosis. Because I like the effects of both. Some of the things that we can do, with self-hypnosis, then, that was the question.
I think we nailed it, right? I think that
okay.
that one of the great things that you're sharing right now is not only can I come and take a session with you and do that, but you also will help me to learn how to do this on my own if that is something that I'm interested in. And that's a very powerful tool, right? And I know you and I have discussed like the power of self-healing and our ability, and when working with people, what that can create for us, right? That reminder that like we can do this, and that you're teaching that as well is really amazing. And I know you offer tons of stuff, so let's do this. Let's do a video again so everyone will get to see Art, and we're going to do some fun stuff ahead for sure. But Art, I want to thank you so much for being here with us today and taking the time out of your day to share about this powerful modality and how you work with people. And I'm so fascinated to share the stories of people I know who have worked with you. So I'm looking forward to that.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Margie.
All right. Have a beautiful day, and we will chat soon.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye.